gifted medium since his youth. With the angel feels so nice, twerking through the afterlife. Boogie like we never die, his energy up so high. Let's go, Matt, and give me some more. A psychic reading on the dance floor. Will they dance? Will they dance? Will they dance? Will they be dancing through the door? Yes, he did.
You did. Okay, thank you guys. I love that.
Most welcome.
I need that on my phone.
Yeah,
How do we get this on audio?
We'll get it to you.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I like being in your studio because I know how you are germs. So I know that all of these have been wiped down. I know it's very clean in here.
He's only concerned about his stuff, though. So I don't know about
Yeah,
yours.
that's filthy. Everything on that side of the room is filthy.
So I get fucked.
Yeah.
Well-
there was pubes. There were pubes on that one a few
That's
few
all right.
weeks
You
ago.
know
Not
what?
that one.
That one.
No, that one. Oh, was it that one?
It was that one.
How did you get pubes on the? Now wait a minute. Now.
Manscaping at night. Get ready for the guests.
Oh, okay. Okay. Listen, anything goes. Listen, luckily I was an EMT, so back in the day.
He was.
So what does that have to do with pubes?
He
What did
doesn't care about icky stuff. He touches things.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I mean, I would still care about pubes on my head. No?
Well, you know, let me tell you something. I don't know. Being a dad now, it's changed me because after having to, doing diapers and having piss and shit and everything else on your hands from your kids, it's like,
Whatever.
Have you ever had any of that on your hands from your wife?
Actually, we
Okay.
shouldn't talk about it, but yes. In the hospital, my wife was like, she didn't want anybody touching her, right? She's like, I'll do it myself. I don't want the nurses like going down there, whatever. So here I was taking care of her.
Usually, though, they don't want the husband down there.
Really?
Yeah, like I didn't want my husband anywhere near me down there. Oh.
Oh, speaking of the devil,
Yeah.
he's calling right now?
No. It's a
When you say you didn't
alarm.
want your husband down there,
For
if
my
that is
son's
true, then you wouldn't have had a child.
I just didn't want him looking. That whole thing is like crazy, icky growth, right? Like they asked if I even wanted a mirror, and I was like, absolutely not.
Oh, no. See, I don't know. See, with my wife, it was different because there was so many people. I mean, so many people in and out looking down there, right? You have your like. She was so violated that at the end of the day, I don't think she gave a shit.
Yeah, no, you get fisted multiple times.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they do to check your cervix. They're just always in there, like shoo, shoo. That's my
Do they
thing.
make that noise?
Shoo,
Shoo, when
every
do
time
that?
they put their
How
fingers
old
in
is
your
child?
vagina.
So I have two.
Right.
So one is almost 3. He's gonna be 3 in August, and then we have one that is a month old now. So.
Are any of them showing signs of psychic ability?
Absolutely. So Royce,
You're not kidding?
No. Actually, it's a little bit freaky because it reminds me of when I was a kid, but different. And, you wonder, how do you help him, right? Like, what do you do? So, for example, my son, Royce, he is going to be 3 in August, and he's been waking up, and we can see him on the monitor. Obviously, now we have these high-tech monitors, whether HD and whatnot, night vision. And he'll wake up, and he'll sit straight up, and he'll look to the side of the room, and then all of a sudden, he'll start reaching, and he'll start talking to somebody. And then, having these full-blown conversations that you can't really make out. Now, just to let you know, what's so cool about today is that we have night vision on the baby monitor. So, like, he knows if he needs mommy and daddy, he just says, mommy and daddy will come through, talk to him on the baby monitor. So
Or
he's
you
not...
won't come in. You just...
No, we go in, like, if he needs us.
Oh, I thought I need mom, and it's okay. We're right here.
Oh, well, we say this thing before he goes to bed. We say, okay, if you need mommy and daddy, what do you say? He's like, I look at the camera and I say, mommy, daddy, I need you. Yep. What do mommy and daddy do? He's like, we come running. Yep. We come running and get you. So he knows he can reach out to us. So, and there's times that he's gotten sick, that he's going to go to the bathroom, whatever it is. But the weird part is that like these certain nights, he'll get up and he'll sit up and he'll talk to somebody. That's not there. Put his hand out and whatnot and reach. And we all have this on video. And it's like, I'm waiting for him to call me, waiting for him to call, his mom. And nope. And he'll just go right back to bed and that'll be that.
Do you not see what's there?
So this is the interesting part, okay? And this is the one thing that I think was the craziest thing of growing up. So I grew up seeing and hearing The Departed. And what was crazy is...
How old were you when you first saw that?
So I was around the ages of what my son is right now, 2, 3, 4 years old. So, and I say that because obviously I don't remember being 2, 3, 4 years old, but this is what my mom tells me. My mom tells me 3. So I remember these vividly. I remember being so afraid because I'd be woken up by people who had passed on. And my mom was a medium. My grandmother was a medium. But when I say that, people are like, well, you should have known. Well, back in the day, they didn't talk about this. My grandmother didn't do it, professionally. My mom didn't do it professionally. It was kept so secret. My own grandfather had no idea that my grandmother actually did this. It was kept far away from him. So long story short, when I grew up, I was seeing and hearing people who had died. And I did everything. I remember going and begging my mom to sleep in bed with her and my dad. I remember like begging them to keep the TV on, to keep the lights on, because I didn't want to hear the voices. Mm-hmm. And I remember there were many times when I would call my mom into the room because I'd be seeing a man or somebody would appear, and my mom would come in and the soul would just disappear. There was this one night that all of a sudden this man appeared, and I remember waking up. My bed was like moving. I went to wake up, and there was this man that was there. I screamed at the top of my lungs. My mom came running in the room, and for the first time, the soul didn't disappear. And my mom's like, "What's going on? What's going on?" And I remember being out of my mind crying, and I'm like, "Mom, there's this man right there in the corner." And I'm like, "Look, look." And my mom's looking, and she goes, "No one's there." And I'm like, "Mom, no, I can see him." I'm like, "He's looking at me right now." And I was like and the more that my mom was telling me like I couldn't see him, the more that I was just out of my mind, like crying, screaming, like saying, "What's up?" So I'll never forget my mom did this, and it was really comforting. She went over to where I was saying this man was, and my mom said to me, "Am I next to him?" And I said, "Yes." And she's like, "Is he hurting me?" And I said, "No." And she's like, "If he's not going to hurt me, he's not going to hurt you." And I started bawling. I was like, "Mom, why can't you see him? You're gifted, right? You have this ability, right? Why can't you see him?" And I'll never forget. My mom sat on the bed with me, put her arm around me, and said, "Matt, I want you to know this one thing." She says that souls choose who they come to. She says, so there are times when you're going to see things that I can't. There are going to be times when you sense and feel things that I can't, because the soul is choosing to come to you. They're coming to you because they need to deliver a message to either someone that you know, or, maybe they're just open to you, but that soul's not revealing themselves to me. And I think that was the scariest moment for me as a kid, mm-hmm. because obviously as a little child, you want your own, mom and dad or whoever to validate your experience, but also to see what you see, right? And at that moment, I felt so helpless because I felt like nobody could help me.
So I heard it's common for young children to have this ability, and then it kind of goes away. Do you think that it stayed with you because your parents and your family members validated it, therefore you were able to keep whatever gate that was, or bridge or whatever, open because they validated that for you, as opposed to some kids who will yell and scream and say they see something, and their parents will come in and be like, "No, it's nothing. There's nothing there. Stop being crazy. It's your imagination." And so they learn to kind of close that off.
So I'll tell you this. What's interesting is that we all have a psychic ability when we're young. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. When we're first born, we're actually a soul that starts out in heaven, and then our soul is born here in this world and into our bodies, right? So we're a new soul. So we always have that connection. The connection to spirit is the strongest when we're younger. It's the reason why so many children will sense and feel the departed, and more importantly, that children will come to their parents and explain or talk about people who had passed before them, or talk about people that they shouldn't have known about. But there's an interesting part about this. So first of all, backing up a little bit, what I've noticed is that many people will come to me and be like, "Matt, I'm freaked out." And I'll be like, "Why?" And they'll be like, "I went to put my son to bed, my daughter to bed, especially when they're, 1 year old, 2 years old, and there's orbs around the monitor. What does this mean?" So many times orbs, like the cameras that we have right in front of us right now, can pick up on spirit, right? Because spirit is energy. So what happens is that when souls come to visit us, sometimes those spirits appear as orbs. They don't look like that on the other side. They look like me and you. But to the camera, right? It's almost like if you move your hand quickly past the camera and you just get a little flash. That's kind of what happens when they pick up on souls. The reason why I'm telling you this is that we meet the people who have passed before us in heaven. So we'll meet our grandparents, our great-grandparents, people that passed before we were born, pets, you name it. And then when we're born here in this world, that connection never leaves. And then all of a sudden, they come back to check up on us. So in the very beginning, when people see orbs on baby monitors, those are always that baby's angels, spirit guides, loved ones coming to visit.
In the course of any day, does things just come to you and you ignore it, or are you able to just shut the door and just open it when you want to?
You know, I would love to be able to open it when I want to, right? I mean, to be honest with you, now doing what I do, and that it's not just my job, it's my life. Things are always coming to me. I'm always sensing and feeling things. You know, some things serious, some things not. Meaning, like, sometimes there's things around family members. Sometimes there's, you know, things around my friends. Like, you know, just last night I was talking to my manager. His dad came to me 2 nights ago. You know, I had a message to him for him about his mom. So the thing is that
Is that your manager that walked in with you?
That's him. That's him. So what's interesting is that I never know when the messages are going to come. And just to answer your question about children seeing souls. So my sister, believe it or not, has never remembered seeing souls, has never remembered, you know, being psychic whatsoever. And I think my sister gets a little bit pissed because my sister was
They don't believe in it.
What's it?
They don't believe in it, right?
My sister believes in it, but she's like, my sister is very factual. My sister is an accountant. My sister is very, very smart. She's an auditor. So my sister's like, I got to see the evidence. And my sister's like, as many shows as she comes to, as many people that I read, you know, as many times as she asks for my advice and I give her, you know, readings, because my sister does come to me. The funny part is that she'll be like, I just don't understand. I just understand how it works. She's like, I don't understand how you and mom can see this. And like, I can't. And for my sister to actually fully understand it, she would have to see a spirit herself. And even then, with my sister's mind, she's so analytical that I think that she would be like, sit down, have to process it and like break it down and break it apart.
Howie Mandel here. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night convinced there's a tiny winged Dracula flapping around your attic? I'm talking about bats, people. Bat Pack helps you send those unwanted party crashers packing without harming a single one. Bat Pack is the revolutionary no-contact solution to your bat woes. For a limited time, use code HOWIE20 for 20% off at batpack.com. Wow, no more bat woes for Howie.
So we've talked to a bunch of other mediums on this show before, and you said you wish you could just shut it off or close the door. But we've talked to people like Tyler Henry that has to be in the mode and has to be like focusing and scribbling and stuff in order to get anything or to have a reading. To you, does that mean that it's not authentic or real, or does everyone just have a different way of seeing the spirits?
So Tyler's actually a friend of mine.
Okay.
We talk all the time. Actually,
Okay.
just got married yesterday. I was congratulating him.
Yeah.
But anyways, the thing is that every psychic ability is different from person to person, which makes it so unique, right? We have pet psychics that communicate with pets that have passed on. We have angel readers that connect with your angels. You know, everyone's gifted in their own way. And what's interesting is my grandmother used to use cards to read people. Mm-hmm. So my grandmother just wouldn't go and, you know, sense and feel things where, you know, she could just be in a room and start giving readings. She had to use cards and different tools to connect. There were times when she would receive messages on her own, but that was her tool. My mom is a life psychic, so she doesn't speak directly to the dead. My mom can pick up on future events, what's going to happen in the future, how many kids you're going to have, things like that. So that's the cool part.
Cops have come to you, right? Have you been working on cold cases, I read? Or have you solved any cold cases?
That's a really good question. So
I know.
You're good at questions.
No, that was a good one,
Yeah.
right?
No, this is a really good one because there's a big misunderstanding, right? And you have to know that there are no official police psychics. So there are no time when a police department will come to a psychic or a medium to go and to have them solve a case. But there are retired detectives and there are independent investigators that have come to me when clues have dried up. And I used to do that work. In the beginning, I used to do that work and I got so frustrated that I stopped.
What frustrated you?
You know, what frustrated me was that the few cases that I did work on is that it was, and here's the thing. I think that kind of being an EMT, an emergency medical technician, which I was back in the day, and being a psychic medium, when I do a reading, I need to bring things full circle. For example, being an EMT, when something was wrong with you, when you were having an issue within your body, a medical issue, I have to solve it. I can't just throw a Band-Aid on it and be like, oh yeah, you know, deal with it, right? I have to go and heal that person, help that person. So what bothered me the most about these cases is that when I would speak to somebody on the other side, and you know, there were times when they could clearly tell us who did it and who is responsible. But the problem is that, and I'll tell you, and the police saw this too, right? The independent investigators and the people that I worked with, is that when that person was on the suspect list or they knew that person was there, the problem becomes, well, how can we try this person when there's no evidence, right? It's almost like the O.J. Simpson case, right? We all know what happened with that case.
What happened?
Come on, Howie.
Have you talked to Nicole?
I have not, no.
You never wanted, are you never just interested in like a case, not even to help the police, not even for someone coming to you, but you yourself are interested and so you want to?
Oh my God, yes. But you know, I don't cross the line. So I wait for people to come to me. There are so many cases.
But you didn't have, did you solve a case?
Did I solve a case?
Yes, or find somebody.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But the thing is, like I said, is that at the end of the day, there has to be enough evidence to actually try that person here in this world. So what does it matter?
Well, I'm just saying, what have you solved? So then was there a case of a missing person and then you said the body is buried in that park over there and they found the body?
So I'll give you, I've never had a case like that that's come to me. I've had a case, for example, there was a woman, it actually went viral on TMZ. There's a woman who came to me and her son was on it's on YouTube. You can watch the whole thing. Happened a couple years ago.
This is on YouTube too, so you can continue watching.
Yes. So anyways, what ended up happening is that there was this woman who came to me and they didn't know what happened with her son. They were convinced that her son was pushed off of a train.
He disappeared.
I don't know if I don't want to say disappeared, but they found him on the train tracks. And
they found the body.
Found the body. And they were convinced that somebody had pushed him, that there was foul play, there was all of these things. And it ended up being the complete opposite. It ended up being that, her son was, it was an addiction issue that caused his passing. So that really brought the mother a lot of peace and comfort because here she was looking for the killer of her son, when unfortunately he took responsibility for that. And sometimes those readings are hard too because it's not what we want to hear.
But that is something, could they have proved that? Because they could have done an autopsy and seen that he was...
They did.
And you were right.
They did. Yes.
Or he was right.
Yes, he was right. I never take the credit. I never take the credit because it's really not me. It's the souls on the other side that tell me, right? And that do all the work. And that's the fun part is that I just get to be their voice and their messenger. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's like souls do what they do to help us to heal, right? So when we go through these readings, right, and souls come through, you got to remember that it's not like in the movies. It's not like, Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, where there's a soul that's coming through that's looking to find that killer or to find that person so that this way they can be at peace. Your loved ones are already at peace. But the one thing is that they want us to have peace. And what's going to bring us that peace, right? Is it that the peace is going to be that we know that our loved one is safe and at peace? Or is that peace that peace that we're going to get, going to be about solving a mystery? For example, people also come to me and they don't know how a person had died, right? Someone just dies in their sleep or someone just dies unexpectedly and they want to know what happened here, what caused this. And that's where I come in.
Is something coming to you now?
Always. Always. So first of all, the moment that I'm here, there's a couple different souls that are here within the room. But first of all, the moment I'm connecting, Howie, as I'm talking to you, it's like crazy. I have your father here. Because right away I kept hearing, I'm the father, I'm the father. And this is how it comes to me. And the way the spirit communication works, right, is that when souls come to me, they don't speak in full sentences. So I'll hear little things like, I'm the father, this is how I died. And then right away when I'm connecting with them, they'll start to show me different moments of their life. So the way that it works, just to kind of put it in perspective, as I'm talking to you, I saw this figure behind you. And then as I was looking at this figure, they kept saying, I'm the father, I'm the father. The moment I'm connecting with your dad, he said to me that he did not want to pass in this way. He was a little bit in denial over his passing. I know this was a sick man, but your dad was the type of person where he's showing me, when I close my eyes like this, I'm just looking at all the visions. He shows me that when he was here, first of all, he tried to ignore it for a while. He did not want to believe that he was as sick as he was. And then all of a sudden, he shows me it hitting him all at once. I keep feeling, because souls will make me feel things in my body. The moment I'm speaking to him, he makes me feel like I'm drowning when I'm connecting with him. Because he talks about not being able to breathe before his passing. And he's also telling me when I'm connecting, I held on as long as I could. I held on as long as I could. He's also bringing me back because he just said to me that one of his main messages to you is that he wants to thank you so much for the way that you took care of your family, but more importantly, your mom here in this world. He's bringing that through. He just said to me, you have no idea how proud you made me for taking care of her. This is crazy. He's also telling me he's very concerned about your mother, that there's been some health struggles that she's been going through here in this world.
It's true.
He just said to me about a fall. Did she just fall? Was there been a fall that had happened? Because he's telling me he's very worried about her legs. There's been mobility issues.
She fell about a year ago.
Okay. Anytime that I make reference to something, it would be within this past year, right? If I say like recently, so it was in the past year, because he's bringing that through. And he's also telling me when I'm connecting, which is so crazy, that he actually comes to visit her. So when I'm connecting, immediately he's telling me this. He's telling me that she's going through some physical issues within her body, but then he's also telling me about there's some mental issues that are going on with her as well. So has she had issues with memory or remembering here in this world?
She has Alzheimer's.
Okay. Did she ever tell you that your dad came to visit her or that she's seen him?
No.
That's interesting. He says to me, I come to visit her. So if she ever says to you, hey, I see your dad, or makes reference to him, know that he does visit in spirit. Because this is what's crazy. When souls get to points where they have issues with their mind or issues with their thought process, what happens is that when we, I don't want to say get close to death, but when we have a life-threatening illness, right? Or maybe it's that we have issues that are going on that affect our minds. There's no really clear-cut line on it. Souls will come through when they can to visit us, check up on us, and to let us know that they're there. It happens all the time before we leave this world. But sometimes we have to be also willing to ask the questions as well. So I would ask your mom, like, hey, have you gotten any visitors lately? Hey, has anyone come to see you out of the ordinary? Hey, have you thought about dad? Has dad come? And see what they say. Because a lot of times what I've noticed is that people will see people who had passed when they get really sick, but they're afraid to tell us about it because they're afraid that we're going to either judge them or we're going to think that they're crazy.
Well, it all makes sense. It does make sense. Howie Mandel here. As most of you know, I'm not exactly an elite outdoorsman, but I do like to eat well. The COBB Cooker is what the pros use. It's compact, no fuss, no scary campfire situation. Ready to step up your outdoor cooking game like me? Grab your COBB Premier Air Kitchen in a Box, and my gift to you is 10% off with code Howie10 at cobbgrillamerica.com. Let's take this outside. I feel like an outdoorsman now. Do you get, are you focusing on me because I'm asking you, or do you get things that are happening in the room? There's a lot of people in this place, and
does it matter if like they're outside this room necessarily, or do you get stuff that from even people that are in the building?
So when I walk through, yes. Luckily, because we're confined in this room and everyone's way over there, I'm not hearing from their people, luckily. Yeah. But the thing is that, and I haven't been here that long, but like if I was here for like a good 10 minutes and talking to people over there, absolutely, 100%.
So you have to connect with them first. You have to talk to them and then get something?
Yeah, so I have to be in their presence, basically. So what's interesting is that like the same way we're having a conversation, I start to hear your loved ones, right? So it's not like I'm walking down New York and everyone's person is tapping me on the shoulder being like, hey, I'm this person's father, I'm this person's whatever. Although it works differently at an event. So what's interesting is that when I'm at a show, it's completely different because the souls know that you're coming for a reason and that I'm there for a reason, right? They know it's work mode. So that being said, the moment that I hit that stage, the moment, even beforehand, the readings start beforehand, meaning like when I'm in the dressing room, whatever, I'll hear like, oh, I'm this person's son that's going to be in the audience. I'm this person's mother. And then it's crazy because then, as I start to see the souls, I'll be like, oh, I know this soul. I know that person, because they start to come through. But what's cool is that the souls on the other side know things before we do. They know when you're going to be in the room. They know when, the conversation is going to happen. And they use a psychic medium, almost like a telephone line, to get those messages out there.
Before you get to someplace, have you ever had somebody from the other side or a soul from the other side say, you're going to meet this person and this is a message I need you to give?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But sometimes you don't know who that person is, right? So That's the funny part, is that,
Well, do you have any messages today? And then we'll see if anybody in this building, everybody can hear it and they're all watching from the other room.
Everyone's always so intrigued whenever we have a medium come in.
Yeah, so they're all listening.
Everyone piles in. They're like, everybody maybe we'll hear someone. Yeah.
Does the band have to be in the room? The band is on camera. You could see them right there. That's Sunny in the Black Pack. So that's everybody there.
So you don't do readings over the phone then, or like Zoom?
What is it? Oh, no, I do.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I can connect with anybody. I do readings. Some clients are as far away as China, believe it or not. And what's really cool is that I don't have to be in the room with the person, but there has to be a connection there. So
talk to people in the band.
Let's see.
Sunny, put up that picture.
Okay, so first of all, there's a couple different souls that I'm hearing from. immediately as I'm looking over. Because what happens is readings go where intention goes, right? So I have
Okay.
to have my intention on, for example, the band. We can pull them up. So first of all, right away when I'm connecting, I keep hearing the soul that passed of an overdose right there. So first of all, I feel like I'm right there with the man in the yellow. Did you lose somebody in the overdose? Yeah.
Who's wearing yellow?
Yeah.
Yeah, my uncle.
Okay. Know that first of all, he's here because first of all, I kept hearing, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. His soul is coming through the moment I'm speaking to him. And this is how I see them. I saw this figure right behind you. And the reason why I said yellow is because they're all in black. But of course, he's got the yellow light, what's it called? Writing on.
Yeah.
First of all, he's coming through because right away, he's telling me, I made a mess of my life. I made a mess of my life. And when I'm speaking to him, he tells me that he struggled with different addictions here in this world for quite some time. Immediately, he's also showing me alcohol bottles when I'm connecting with him on the other side. And he's also telling me this. He says that the reason why he's coming through is to say that he's sorry to his family. Because he tells me that before he had died, there were arguments that had happened. Is that true?
Yeah.
Because he tells me that he pushed everybody away, that there was this big disconnect within the family. And he says to me that the one thing that I want everybody to know is this. I had the opportunity to stop and to change. And this is really interesting because as I'm connecting, I start to get more information. He's also telling me that it wasn't just the overdose issues that he was having. Right before that overdose had taken place, there was also some physical health issues that were going on within his body before he had died. Were you aware of that?
I was not aware of any physical stuff.
I'm going to tell you what it is. I keep feeling constant pain with him. I'm not talking about emotional pain. I'm talking about physical pain. So when I see that, I don't know if he had, like, all I keep feeling is this, because souls will make me feel what they went through in their body. I keep feeling all of this pain going through my back when I'm connecting with him. So that means to me that he'd either hurt himself beforehand or there was some type of an issue that he was going through. Do you know anything about that?
He may have had some back pain or something, yeah. But I did have an uncle who had an overdose.
Okay.
Yeah.
Know that one of the things is that souls will come through to bring their story. And when I'm connecting with him, I'm wondering if that's when that addiction had started because he's showing me pain pills specifically in front of me. And I see when I'm connecting with him that I think that it started either with a surgery or with some recent pain because he's bringing that through. And he's using you as a way to tell his family, like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Because here's the thing. When souls get to the other side, they do regret the pain that they caused us here in this world and the pain that we hold on to. So know it's his way of bringing that through and also letting you all know that he is on the other side and that he was telling me in my ear, I was like ashamed of this. I was ashamed of this because I see when I'm speaking to him that by his distance didn't mean that he didn't love all of you or care about you, but he was very ashamed or nervous that you were all going to find out how deep in the trenches he was. And that's what I'm seeing.
Wow.
So what's crazy is this, is that when souls come through, right? You're going to know that souls, when they do come through, it's because they have a message. There's something that's there that they have to say, that they didn't get to say here in this world. Not every soul comes through. So, for example, someone's grandmother's not going to come through just to be like, hey, I'm doing good. Like, I'm on the couch in heaven. I'm sipping martinis. The reason why they come through is because to heal something here in this world, to get to explain something, to get to tell something. And sometimes what happens is that the messages that come through are messages that the family needs to hear because they're still hurt and pain.
That's what I always hear. Like my husband, whenever we have a medium, I'm like, do you want to come in and speak to your grandfather? He's like, he's not going to come through. Like, he's totally fine. We all said we're all fine. He's fine. There's no way he would ever come through. So he's never been interested in that because he says that there's no messages that he would have.
Well, and that's completely true.
That's actually a nice feeling, right?
Yeah.
To know, to be okay, because we're all going to die. And to the people that we love and we're connected with, it's nice to feel that there isn't any unresolved issue.
Yeah,
or
he doesn't
need.
feel like there's unfinished business or
If you
anything.
look at our crew and everything, put that camera on, Jeremy. Getting anything from there? From that room? Well, there's your manager.
There he is. Right in the
Do
back.
you get that a lot?
His dad talked to him last night.
Yeah.
You getting anything from there?
So first of all, when I'm connecting, oh boy, it's a couple of different souls that are speaking to me. Right away, I'm also having a father that's there, that's stepping forward in spirit. So wait to the right, to this man to the right. Did you lose your dad, sir?
The one sitting up, or
The one sitting up? Yep. Is
Yeah.
that-
Yes, he did.
okay. Who's that?
His name's Steve. You're
Steve.
the one, Steve.
Wait.
No, Steve.
Steve.
The one with the
Steve.
no hat?
The one with the hat that's there. Is that?
Oh, with a hat?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait.
Mark.
Put up your hand.
Mark.
Put up your hand if you think. Is that the person you're talking to?
Steve, was that your dad that passed?
Steve, you said to the right, and now that's in the
He's talking
center.
about Mark.
Who? The
Steve.
Steve
He's
with
Talking
the,
about Mark.
No, he's not.
He
No, I
said
am.
with the hat.
With the hat.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark.
Sorry, I don't know people's names. I didn't get to
Okay.
meet the crew
With
before
the
him.
football.
Okay.
Did your father depart?
A year ago.
Okay, he's here. So first of all, when I'm connecting, I kept hearing, I'm his father, because he was standing right behind you in spirit, letting you know that he's here. And first of all, the moment I'm connecting with the soul, he tells me that there were problems in multiple parts of his body before leaving this world. So first of all, when I'm connecting, he's here, and immediately he's telling me about circulation issues. How do you connect with the circulation issues before his passing?
Yes, he was having trouble with blood flow in his legs and stuff. He had to wear compression stuff.
He says to me when I'm connecting with him, this was the hardest thing, because he says to me that he was so afraid of being in the wheelchair. He didn't want to be in the wheelchair. He didn't want people pushing him around. And he's saying to me when I'm connecting with him, thank you so much for trying to keep him alive as long as you did. When I'm speaking to his soul, this was really tough because it went from being physical with his circulation to also starting to affect his head before his passing as well. Because he talks about not being able to remember and like being in and out of it. And I got to tell you the reason why. He just whispered in my ear and told me there was infections that were going through him before he died. He keeps talking about this and wait a minute. What is the connection with, did his organs start to shut down, or was he, and I don't mean to be gross, but was he having issues being able to urinate or pee?
He was having issues being able to defecate.
Okay. Because when I'm speaking to him, he kept saying to me, I couldn't go to the bathroom. And I keep feeling being blocked up when I'm connecting with him. And he kept talking about all this pain. I literally feel like there's a cinder block in my stomach when I'm connecting with him. He said...
Oh my gosh, that's what sent him to the hospital.
Okay. He just said to me, I want you to know that this was the hardest thing that I had to go through. Not because of what I went through physically, but he says to me, watching you suffer. Because I'm going to be honest with you, your dad was tough. And your dad was afraid of doctors. He was afraid of nurses. He was afraid to go in for a procedure. Your father just said to me, it's okay that you called. Can I tell you everything? Your father just said to me in the afterlife, Matt, he's feeling so much guilt because your dad literally guilted you, like, don't call the hospital. Don't let me go. I don't want to go. And I know that when you literally said, no, I'm taking care of my dad, I'm sending him in, we're going to do everything that we can for him, he wants to thank you so much for you and the family for the way that you fought for him. But this all happened so quickly and it all happened so fast. And I'm going to tell you something that you don't know, which is really important. I also felt when I'm connecting with your father that he had either a heart issue beforehand or there was a mini heart attack that had happened like years ago. Do you know about that?
Yeah, he had a pacemaker put in.
Okay, your dad said to me, my heart was not functioning fully. So I need you to know this because he says to me that it was only a matter of time. It was like a ticking time bomb within him. And your father said, I knew that I didn't have long for this world. So he says to me that every moment that he got in between after that pacemaker was put in, he said to me, I felt like God saved my life. I felt like God gave me a second moment. God gave me another more time to be with you. And he's acknowledging that. He also wants to thank you for trying to get everybody to him, to say goodbye to him, and to see him. He says even though there were some people who did not make it to the hospital or did not get to see him because it happened all so fast. Your dad wants you to know that not only is he okay in the spirit world, but he does watch over you every single day. And what's so beautiful is your dad just said to me, there's nothing I regret, there's nothing I regret. He said to me, I lived a beautiful life. And your dad wants to thank you for being such an amazing provider for him as well. He's thanking you. I don't know if he gives somebody his family. So when I say you, it could be your family. He's thanking this family for his chair. Somebody bought him a chair.
Like 3 years ago, yeah. We brought a chair into the assisted living place where him and my mom were.
Shut the hell up. So you all bought a chair and brought it into assisted living just for him?
It was from my brother's house.
Oh, okay. He thought you bought it for him, by the way, so...
Well, it was for him.
He's saying to me in my ear, thank you for my chair, because that chair became like his life here in this world. He loved that chair at the very end.
Chair, mother. Makes sense.
So it's his way of just acknowledging. Because listen, it's the simple things, right? It's the things that we think go unnoticed that your loved ones see, and like things like that. He said to me, like, you made that assisted living place like an apartment for him, because he calls it his apartment when I'm connecting with him. Oh my gosh. So
the chair didn't complain.
Listen, wait a minute. Did you like bust your father's balls? Did you not tell him he was in assisted living, but tell him he was in an apartment?
He always called it the apartment. Always.
He thought, listen, in his mind, before he died, he thought it was an apartment, because he's telling me that. And he's complaining about the television as well when I'm speaking to him, because he's like, everything in there is like, he thought that was like his little condo, because I keep hearing him saying, like, can the TV get better? There's issues with the TV. Something was going on. He keeps telling me.
He used to run around yelling at everybody that he can't find the football game on his TV.
There you go. So know that one of the things is that in spirit, he says to me this, he goes, Matt, tell my son, don't feel guilty about putting me in this place. He says, there's only two things I needed to keep me happy, the chair and the TV, because he's acknowledging that.
So now my mom to number 3. That makes sense. No, this is all checking out.
But no, it's his way of just letting you know in spirit that he is completely fine, that he can now walk and move freely. And he wants to thank you so much for the way that you had helped him in that place. Because he says, I don't want my death to be a sad one. He says, I want to thank you for the memories and the love.
Are you able to give him a message from me?
No, because you can do that in your, you're able to
talk.
Do you know that's, wait a minute, we have to talk about this.
Text.
That's the number one question I get asked is people will come to me and they're like, Matt, but I want to talk to my loved one. I want to tell them this. I want to tell them that. And I don't like people to talk to me during a read. Like, I don't want them to be like, oh, just tell her I love her so much. Tell her. Because you can do that on your own time, right? No matter what you do, when you talk to them either in your head or out loud, your loved ones in spirit can hear you. And that's what's so beautiful.
Thanks.
I think he just had a question. Every day I make countless decisions, but one of the easiest and most important is securing my home with Simply Safe. The moment I arm my system, I know my family and everything I've ever worked for are protected, whether I'm stepping out for the day or settling in for the night. That small action delivers something priceless, peace of mind. I can focus on what matters. I can rest easier and go about my day knowing Simply Safe has my back in a crisis. And I want you to have the same confidence too. Because it's not only an alarm, it'll alert people if they think that something is coming close to your house. You see, with Simply Safe, millions of Americans enjoy a new standard in home security and greater peace of mind every time they arm their system when heading out in the morning or when locking up each night. Traditional security systems only take action after someone has already broken in. That's too late. Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection can help prevent break-ins even before they happen. AI-powered cameras backed by live professional monitoring agents monitor your property and detect suspicious activity. If someone's lurking around or acting suspicious, those agents see and talk to them in real time, activate spotlights, and even contact the police, all before they have the chance to get inside your home. No long-term contracts or cancellation fees. Monitoring plans start affordably at around $1 a day. 60-day satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Visit simplysafe.com/Howie to claim 50% off a new system with a professional monitoring plan and get your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/Howie. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Ta-da!
No one ever talks to me whenever we have mediums in. Not even Papa Al. They always just come and talk to you.
Is there anybody that you can talk to?
Well,
I think I had a dog once. Someone said that a dog came.
I did see a dog. There is definitely a dog around you. But the thing is that to have a message, like for example, I'll tell you from my own life, people are like, oh my God, you must talk to your loved ones all the time. It must be so amazing being a medium. You just call up your aunt, you call up your uncle, you call up this person. The thing is that being a medium, I can tell you that I don't talk to my loved ones every day. And just like you, sometimes I'm looking up and I'm like, where the hell is my grandmother? Where the hell is my grandfather? And I get pissed. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I get pissed because I want to be able to talk to them all the time. But the messages come when you most need them. And more importantly, when your loved ones have something to say. And even now, I'll be honest, like when my grandfather was my best friend, he was my everything. Like my dad was in the Navy 21 years. My dad was out of my life for most of my life. So my grandfather was there. He was there every single day. My grandfather was the one who taught me to ride my bike. My grandfather was the one who stayed with me and my mom when there were snowstorms. I mean, my grandfather was my everything. And it was the biggest loss within my life. But luckily, my grandfather did not pass unexpectedly. We knew he was going to pass. And what was so beautiful is I got to spend amazing moments with him. And being a medium and doing what I do, I told my grandfather, listen, I'm gonna spend time with you. We're gonna spend all our memories. Now we went to the casino. This guy did more in the end of his life than he did when he was living. We had the most amazing memories. And I also gave him signs to use to reach me when he got to the other side, which is something that you and the viewers can do as well. I'll share that with you. But what's so beautiful is that after my grandfather had passed away, I feel no need to communicate with him. Now, there's times when he'll come in and say hello, and I felt him there when my son was being born and moments like that. But I don't feel that need. Like, I don't feel a need to communicate with him or to hear messages from him because I said all my messages when he was here. I know how he felt about me. There was no unfinished business that was there. And that's the same thing that I want to give people is I want people to know that, listen, your loved ones are with you every day because when you can feel them and you can sense them and you know that they're there, you don't have to rely on messages all the time. And it was the same thing when, I used to do private readings. I had a rule that most mediums don't, but my rule was you could only come to see me once a year. That's it. No reoccurring business, once a year.
What are you said you're going to mention to us, you gave your grandfather signs, or we could give somebody a sign.
Tell them to give a sign.
Tell them to give a sign. So before a loved one passes away, and this is a little secret, right, that we use in our family. So before a loved one passes away, before they're even freaking sick, you can do this, okay? I know that's how sick our family is, but when you're dealing with a family full of mediums, right, this is how we talk. So before a loved one passes away, you can give them a sign. Like before you pass away, right, I want you to know that when you get to the other side, this is the way that I want you to reach me. This is what I want for you to give me. And
$100 bills on the sidewalk when I'm walking. Like, it doesn't have to be every time, but just sometimes if there's $100 bill on the sidewalk, then I know that you're there.
Well, wait a minute. There are rules to this. There are rules to this. You can't say like, when you get to the other side, I want you to, make me win the lottery.
Hang on
whatnot.
1 second. You could tell me.
What?
I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was just saying
You're
if
pointing
you
to
come back
Steve?
here, yeah.
If you what?
Want to try this side again? Or
We will.
Yeah.
As soon as we come back here. But you could say that he feels like they want, but the crew, that's actually, it feels like they want you to talk to them. They're dying to be read.
Absolutely. Hold on.
But finish this thought, and then we're going to come back to and maybe get some more readings from that side. But go ahead.
So this is what's so interesting, right? So when it comes to the other side and the afterlife, the messages and the signs that we can choose to get from our loved ones can actually happen before our loved one even dies. So what I mean by that is that if you, what are you doing? What are you Wait a minute. There are rules to this. The rules is that one, you can't use it for personal gain. Like even my ability, I can't go.
She wouldn't. She would give it all to charity.
Oh, bullshit. Come on.
80%.
Listen, you do your negotiation on your own time, but no, you can't use it for personal gain. You can't say like, oh, I want you to come back and make me win the lottery or things like that, right? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I gave my grandfather one of those signs. I told him I need you to do this for me on the other side, and he didn't do it, and we can talk about that. But the thing is this: when it comes to the other side and the afterlife, right? The conversations start here before we die. So if you have a loved one that's close to you, you can set up like a safety sign. So it's like, okay, when you get to the other side and you make it and you're at peace in heaven, I want you to send me this sign. It could be anything. It could be a number. It could be a song. It could be a phrase. It could be a license plate. It could be whatever you want. The only conditions about this sign is that obviously, like I said, can't be for personal gain. Second thing is that it's got to be something that the other side can replicate. So you can't say, oh, I want a butterfly to go by me at 1:00 p.m., right? It's going to be something that can take time and that can replicate. I'm going to give you an example. So when my grandfather was passing away, right, he was so close, and my wife was like, loved him, adored him, and my wife was like, I'm just so upset because when Poppy passes, she's like, you're going to be able to talk to him, you're a medium, and what about me? I want to be able to talk to him, I want to sense him, I want to feel him. So I said to my wife, I said, listen, talk to him about a sign that you want. So every day before he passed, my wife said to him, because their favorite thing was sitting at home when I was on tour and watching Pretty Woman. My grandfather would watch it, oh my God, a million times. And him and Alexa, she would make popcorn and treats, whatever, and they'd sit down and they'd watch Pretty Woman. That was his favorite movie. So my wife said to him, listen, when you pass away, I want to make sure that you know this sign. Our sign together is Pretty Woman. That's going to be our sign from me to you. When you get to the other side, you do this. And my grandfather said to her, when I make it to heaven, I will send you this sign. I will send you something with Pretty Woman so that you know that I'm there. So they said, okay. So
And your wife became a prostitute?
No, she did not. No, she did not.
Sorry. Pretty Woman, isn't that the
No,
Julia Roberts
I
prostitute?
know. But then,
I don't know. Okay, you tell me.
But
Where
then,
is this going?
lo and behold,
All right, you know what?
it's on Netflix.
No. That's what they watched actually on Netflix. But no, it was I think so anyway. But no, anyway, long story short, what ended up happening is that my wife was like, how am I gonna get the sign? Like, what sign could it possibly be? Well, we have in our house, I don't know if you're familiar with it, Sonos. Where like we have
Heard of it? It's that technology where you can hear music wherever you go.
Exactly. So we have Sonos on, right? And we have like the top hits, like, you know, all of like the you know, my wife listens to all like the you know, the new music and whatnot. So
Stuff the kids are listening to.
the stuff the kids are listening to, yeah, because my wife's, you know, a little younger than me. I'm 33, she's 26, so
Right.
at the time she was younger. So anyway, the what's it called? She's listening to all the pop hits on the
sync.
radio. Yeah, and we're getting ready for his funeral, and we're making the bed, and then all of a sudden the song "Pretty Woman" came on, and
Roy Orbison.
what?
Pretty Woman.
Yes.
Walking down the street. Yeah.
And right away we were like stopped because we're like, wait a minute, this is not on the list. Like, this is like the hit list of like, you know, the 21st century. This is not like the oldie station. And we looked at each other and my wife started to cry, and immediately she knew because it was on the day that we were laying him to rest. That song came on. It's never come on in the house. And we're like, what the hell?
Wow.
And then what was crazy was this. So that was one sign. Second sign is that we were getting married because my grandfather passed before we'd gotten married, and he really wanted to be there on our wedding day. He was like saying, you know, I want to be there. And we told him, like, you're not gonna make it. There's no way you're gonna make it to you know.
That's nice.
That's beautiful.
No,
is
we
beautiful.
knew he was listen. Because you know what?
Why get married early? Because right.
Listen.
I get it because it's probably $200 a plate. And if you wait till after somebody
You
passes,
save $200.
You save $200.
Actually, it was different. My wife was Miss Rhode Island, so she could not get married. She was on the contract to not get married at the time. So we could not, even if we wanted to, and we wouldn't have done it for him anyway, I'm sorry to say, because he was so sick. I gotta be honest. He was sick, right? What are you gonna do? Bring him to a wheelchair on oxygen? Like,
No.
No. Why do you
that's
want somebody in a wheelchair at a
stupid.
wedding? That's it.
You ruined the whole vibe.
So it's like, well, listen, I'm being honest, right? Gotta
You
be
are.
honest.
Yeah.
You are.
So
you are.
we told him, listen. We told him everything. We told him everything we were gonna do, whatever. And he says, I'm gonna be with you on that day. Okay. So anyways, we're planning the wedding, right? Our wedding got held up because of COVID. So then we had to wait like another year or so. Okay, fine. So we're in Palm Beach at the time, and we were like on a little vacation, whatever. And then all of a sudden it came up on our phones that, you know, our local PPAC, which is our local performing arts organization, Pretty Woman was coming for the musical. So Alexa like taps me on my shoulder, and she's like, Matt, oh my God, Pretty Woman's coming. We gotta go. She's like, that would be so fun. Like, you know, we gotta do this. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, get the tickets. She goes to get the tickets, and it was on our wedding day that Pretty Woman was coming. There was no other date, just on our wedding day.
There's a sign.
Right away was another sign that he was going to be with us, and right away she started crying.
Pissed that you were.
Ruined the opportunity to go see Pretty Woman.
She's going, fuck your wedding.
Yeah.
You didn't want me there, so I'm gonna.
Howie. Howie's twisting my words. I never said Howie. He was not invited to the wedding. No,
No,
I
you
said
just
that.
told him he can't go.
I did not. I said you're probably not going to be able to
You're
go
gonna
because
die.
of.
I would have you there, but you're gonna die.
And to be honest, who wants someone with an oxygen tank and like a
the
wheelchair? It would
I
ruin
get
everything.
it. I
yeah.
get it. It doesn't. You can't. It's not part of the color.
I'm gonna get so much shit after this. I am gonna get so much. Thank you so much. Like, when did this? I want to know. When did I? Am I on like the podcast? When did this become the roast of me? Like, that's what I want to
We're
know.
just roasting this moment. You're actually pretty impressive, and you're doing a good job. And in fact, that was my son who said, "Go back to that room because these people that are here want to hear if more people are visiting, and if you're connecting."
Yeah. Okay. So hold on one second. Let me adjust my chair so I can
That's
see
your
over
chair.
there.
See over there.
Okay. So, what happened to the man that was here with the cat? Where did he go? What did he run away?
done.
He did. He left. He left, and he was really emotional, and he was actually really crying.
Okay.
And so they're seeing if anybody else is, if you're getting a vibe from anybody else. And your manager seems to be booking the next gig for you. He's on his phone, texting.
Okay,
Go.
so Wait a minute. So first of all, there's a few souls that are trying to come through. Excuse me. So this man here in the black, it looks like a polo here, with the red back chair.
Yeah.
Sir? Yep.
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Steve. Okay, Steve. So first of all, there's actually a couple souls that are here that I'm hearing from. Did you lose your mother here in this world?
No.
She's still here in the physical.
Yes.
Okay. There's a woman that's stepping forward that I keep hearing on the other side that is coming through, and right away, and this is how they communicate, right? I'm just listening. Oh my God, wait a minute. She's actually showing me there's a child that was lost. Did somebody lose the miscarriage? Was there a baby that was lost? Do you know, in your family?
Nope.
Yes.
Yes.
Who?
Your wife.
Maria,
Your
you didn't
wife.
lose a couple of.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Was that your mother-in-law that passed?
Yes.
Okay, she's sorry. That was my fault. She's coming through. This is how I see them. I saw this woman coming through, and she actually. Do you know if there was 2 children that was lost? Because I see that there was
Yes.
2 babies.
2 miscarriages.
Those souls are here. Because she just stepped forward and she kept saying to me, I'm the mother. This is how they communicate. By the way, they don't say, that's my fault. They don't come through and say, mother-in-law, I'm the stepmother once removed, whatever. So to them on the other side, when they communicate with me, they hear, I'm the father, I'm the mother, I'm the brother. Doesn't mean if it's your stepmother, stepbrother, whatever, that's how they come through. So this woman come through, she showed me a baby within each arms, and she says, I have the children here, I have the children here. So first of all, please know that those babies that are lost are with her on the other side, letting you know that your family does not have to worry. She's also telling me when I'm connecting that this was such a hard loss for your wife to go through here in the physical world and with you. Not just over the children, but over her mom. Because she says to me that, first of all, can I tell you everything, sir?
Yep.
Okay. Your mother-in-law shows me that she struggled with illness for quite some time.
Yes.
And she's telling me that she didn't want to tell you all that was going on for her. It was an uphill battle where she shows me that she would get sick and bounce back and get sick and bounce back. Do you understand that?
Kind of. She was bedridden for a year and a half.
Okay, I want to talk about before this had happened. She's telling me when I'm speaking to her that there were little things that were going on within her body here in this world. And I felt like when I'm connecting, there were like these, she keeps telling me like these little illnesses when I'm speaking to her.
I don't remember.
Okay, I know what she's telling me. Do you know if before she had passed, she had like some type of a mini stroke?
Yes, she did.
Okay,
A minor stroke.
That's what I want to talk about. Because when you're telling me no, she's saying to me, the stroke. She
She had a
says,
mini stroke.
okay. She said to me, because I just saw, this is how souls will communicate. She showed me her head, and then she showed me multiple parts of her brain. So when I see that happening, what that actually means to me is that there wasn't just one mini stroke. I feel like she had multiple, or there were little ones that came up. Because when I'm speaking to her, she's telling me that this was not just when she was bedridden. This happened beforehand. Does that make
Way
sense?
Before, yes.
Hello, pay attention, sir. You just told me that that did not happen beforehand.
He also said that there was not a loss of
Let
children.
me tell you something. Luckily, I'm good at what I do, and luckily, I didn't get a TV show, baby, and run. I tease, but it's hard to remember. But this is why I trust the living more.
No, but this is impressive. Keep going.
I trust the dead more than I trust the living. Oh, believe me, I have a lot to say on this topic. Meaning with him. Because what's happening is that sometimes we don't remember. We don't remember certain people. And I like to teach when I'm doing a reading so that everybody knows kind of how it works. Is that your loved ones in spirit remember everything even when we don't. So all the memories come back. So when I'm connecting with your mother-in-law, she talks about these mini strokes that were happening. She's telling me that it affected multiple parts of her brain because I'm seeing a CT scan, which anytime that they show me that and they show me multiple parts, it means that even if she didn't have one, it's my symbol and spirit of showing there are multiple parts of her brain that were affected by these mini strokes. Yes. Your mother-in-law is also telling me that this was so hard on your family because it also affected her personality here in this world before she had died. And she had said to me when I'm connecting, she goes, I want my family to know I know that they loved me. I know that they loved me. And that she's been there for your wife through all the difficult times, all the difficult moments, and knowing that in spirit, she's back with those children. She wants to thank you all for the great care that you took of her, even though at the end, these strokes had gotten so bad, like even though they had happened in between one another. She's telling me that at the end, it's like, I don't know if she just had one big one or what it was, but it took over, it's almost like it took over her body all at once, where she's telling me there was issues with her being able to speak or communicate at the end.
Yes, she couldn't talk.
So know that this is how she's showing me. She's like, at first it wasn't a big deal. Like she had this mini stroke, and like I don't even think that they caught the first one. To be honest with you, is what she's showing me.
They didn't.
Okay, and then she's showing me these other mini strokes that had happened, and then all of a sudden it happened. Like to you and your wife, it felt like this happened all at once. And what I also have to tell you is that this is like the little bombshell that I gotta tell you. Your mother-in-law is telling me, before she even went to the doctors, she knew that there was something wrong with her. She says, I didn't share it. I kept it a secret. I didn't know what it was, but I knew that there was something that was wrong. But to you and your wife, this all hit you all at once. She keeps telling me, now you're telling me she was bedridden for a year. I want to go back before that part when she was bedridden. She keeps telling me 5 years, 5 years. So this was like a 5-year thing, like a five-year stretch that this was building or happening within her.
Yes.
And she just said to me, I want to thank you for taking over my care. I want to thank you for rescuing me. I want to thank you for all the things that you had done for me. And she's bringing that through.
Yeah.
She also wants to thank your wife for keeping her decorations. She tells me there's decorations that are kept.
Oh, all the, yes.
She's bringing that through because she wants to thank you for that. Although, what the hell is with? She's telling me, wait a minute. What the hell is that? The fire alarm?
No, it's
There's somebody at the door there.
Oh, okay. Okay. As long as you know, she's bringing that up when I'm connecting with her. But she tells me this. She just said to me in spirit, she says, Matt, she goes, what I want my family to know is that even though I couldn't communicate or talk at the end, she says to me, I know all that you had done for me. And she wants to thank everybody, your wife's side of the family, for the way that you had gone and taken the opportunity to stay with her, to switch times being with her, for all the things that you did. Because she said to me, I was never truly alone. And she keeps saying to me, I was never truly alone. I was never truly alone. So know that it's her way of letting you know. Thank you so much for the love and care that you had given to her as well. She is watching over the family, and she is safe and at peace.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
That was beautiful.
And
I was getting a sign while you were reading Steve. Your manager was standing, putting on chapstick, looking at his watch. I'm getting a sign that he wants you to wrap it up. Are you done, sir? We're having a great time. What are you doing?
Ricardo, what's happening over there?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not part of the ad. I have one. It's one of my favorite gifts ever. You ever feel like you're stuck in a gift-giving rut? You know, the same old socks, candles, and fruitcakes? Check out 3dcrystal.com. They transform favorite photos into stunning 3D masterpieces floating inside a crystal. Any occasion. Anniversaries, furry friends, and celebrating special moments. Sentimental, unique, and they last a lifetime. It's one of my favorite gifts ever. Go for it, people. Oh, wow.
Oh, it's you this time.
Look at this.
Is there some type of an award that just came in?
Probably YouTube.
Oh. Is that because of me? Did I just get you another follower?
I bet you did. I bet you this is going to get a lot of followers and a lot of people. Psychic ability is something that kind of lights people up, you know, and opens 100,000. Thank you. Thank you, YouTube.
Wait a minute. Am I here? Did you just get this?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm part of like a celebration
You
today.
are.
You are.
You are.
Oh my God, this just came through the, congratulations.
Thank you.
Ricardo, what the hell is wrong with you? We should have given him a cake or something.
Yeah, Ricardo,
What's
what is
wrong
it?
with
Ricardo
you?
wanted
What's wrong with you?
Ricardo, do we have a Publix over here?
Publix.
No,
You're going to
we
get me
don't.
something from Publix?
Oh, we're gonna get him a cake or something, Ricardo.
I love that he could talk, and he literally was picking up legitimate messages from the other side, but he doesn't know where Publix is.
Can't you ask
Isn't that
them
a
on the other
Florida
side?
chain? Do we have Publix here in California?
No.
What do you have here? Food Mart? What the hell you got?
Food Mart? No. What?
Whole Foods, Air
Look at
One,
look at
Ralph's.
these celebrities. They don't know where to go shopping. You're like, look at
Ralph's,
Howie's like,
Gelson's. Hold on. Ralph's, Gelson's, Trader Joe's.
oh, I love a Trader Joe's.
Do you?
I love a Trader Joe's.
Yeah, we shop, we eat, we are just like
I
everyone.
don't like Trader Joe's.
Well, you had your own series. You're a celebrity.
No, I'm not a celebrity.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. They still charge me for coffee. Look, I had to pay for my own Starbucks today. I'm not a celebrity.
You think I get free coffee?
Yes,
get
I
free,
do.
If I go to the kitchen here and make
I found out that Trump gets free McDonald's because he has a card for doing a commercial for them. We did a commercial for McDonald's, and we never got a McDonald's card.
Do you hear that, McDonald's?
What are we gonna do? What dead person do I have to talk to? Is he gonna McDonald's card?
I'll get you. You want free stuff?
I would love to. Are you
Underwear.
kidding me? I'm
What about-
Italian. I'm Italian. I would love free stuff.
Okay, I have underpants.
Pass it over.
Well, I will. What these are man-made underpants,
Oh, God bless.
which is a Canadian company, and this is what size would you be? And it's a boxer brief.
Okay, medium.
Medium.
For the medium.
Oh, medium.
Medium for the
I
medium.
see what you're doing. You're getting it. Look at.
Oh.
Feel them. Open them
Ooh,
up. They're
this is
great.
nice. This
No,
is
they're
perfect.
really nice. They're really nice. You'll never chafe.
Oh my! Oh, these
Alexa
are nice.
will go crazy.
My wife's gonna love this.
Yeah, she's gonna love that.
Well, actually, she's probably not gonna like it right now because she's in the postpartum mode, so she doesn't want anywhere near me. So this is good.
But this will make you like twice as attractive and comfortable.
Twice as attractive.
Today, give this to you, Howie. These are nice.
Yeah, Man-Made is a product that I
Oh my God, guys!
endorse.
I've never. This changes the way Ricardo. Ricardo, my toy manager. He wants to do everything I do. Watch now. He's gonna be like, "Can I feel those?"
What
underwear?
size? What size is Ricardo? Ricardo, are you also medium? I can't see you from here.
Yeah, medium.
You think?
Oh, he's a medium
Would
because
you
I
be
have
able
large
to
here.
Tell what size he is by
What?
just looking at him, if you could see him.
Here, give him a medium. Give Ricardo underpants.
Oh, thank you. Hey,
Wow.
So much.
There.
Well, look, feel him, Ricardo. Keep the camera on him. Open him up, Ricardo. Tell us
Ricardo.
what you think of this,
wait a
Ricardo.
minute. He's gonna. He loves. Ricardo wants to do everything I do. So what? She's gonna be like.
Does Ricardo have the ability to read? What did you say, Ricardo?
Oh wow, these are nice.
Yeah.
Look how excited he gets. Look. This is a Rhode Island thing.
More excited than he's been all day. Whenever
Yeah.
we look back at him.
These two Rhode Island guys. This is for these two Rhode Island guys. This is the last time your underpants are gonna road up your island.
I heard that there's going to be a Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Is your wife going to be in it?
Please. Oh, they haunted us. We thought we were haunted by the dead. We got more haunted by the living. Yes. There's a Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Yes. And it was crazy, you guys. Like they
What's
wanted.
already on?
Oh no. It's
Did
not,
they
it's
already
not-
film it?
No, it has not been filmed.
What are you going crazy about then?
They wanted Alexa to be in it. And my.
Oh, your
said
wife.
Oh, she said no.
Why?
They came.
Why?
So I don't really want to tell her story, but I'll tell the story. Because we're not drama people like that. You should have her on the podcast to talk about it because it was crazy. So
I would
all
love
of a sudden
it.
they call.
I'm starting to get your rhythm now.
What's my rhythm?
Your rhythm is I don't want to tell the story. Okay, I'll tell the story. then you tell us the story, and 10 minutes in you go to make a long story short.
That's it. I'm Italian, okay?
Okay,
I
I
speak
get
to
it.
the dead. I have to keep. Well,
I get it.
You know.
Okay,
all right.
so go
Okay,
tell the
All right,
Alexa story.
So the Alexa story is that my wife gets a call. She gets a Instagram inbox. It's like, hey, we're doing the Real Housewives. Do you want to be on it? Alexa's like, nope, not interested. Right? So then she sends it to, the agency. They call the agency. They're like, nope, Alexa's not interested. Then they contact our publicist. Oh, does Alexa want to be in Real Housewives? They're like, no. Then next thing you know, they get her personal cell and they're calling her and like, hey, we want to have you on the Housewives, whatever. Alexa's like, no. Like, can you please just take an interview? Yep. So Alexa takes an interview. Then they're like, oh, we need you to sign this NDA. So Alexa's like, I'm not signing an NDA. I do not want to be on this show. Right? So then next thing you know, all of a sudden, they say, okay, well, someone's going to be at your door tomorrow at 12 o'clock from Los Angeles. Now we live in Rhode Island. So Alexa tells me someone's coming from LA to be at our house. I go, who? How many people? Who are these people? Somebody from the network, whatever. Okay. They come in. They sit down. Alexa says to them, I don't want to be in the show. I'm not drama. I'm not like that. I don't want to be on it. They tell her all this stuff. We need someone to balance the show. This is that, the other thing. So then, long story short, what ends up happening, she sends him out the
See
door.
what I said?
Long story short.
Did I tell you that's how it
He
works?
does. Howie's a psychic.
No, I've just been talking to you for the last hour.
Okay.
Can I just tell you something?
Yes.
If I say, tell me about your wife, no, you're engaging, and I'm telling you that the story is interesting. You're not boring. It's a good story. I want to hear the whole story, but I just want to give you some, like if I said, tell me about Alexa not wanting to be on Housewives, you go, okay. To make a long story short, they wanted to come. That's where it goes. To make a long story short doesn't come after 10 minutes.
To make a
Oh.
short story long. Go on.
All right. Well, tell me about my wife. So my wife is like my wife is like a hot Martha Stewart. She cooks, she bakes, just without the jail time. All right, and without being a stockbroker. That's what she is. All right, with a really good personality. So they wanted her on the Housewives.
But she
didn't
doesn't want you anywhere
does
near her
not-
coochie right now. You
Right
said.
now. I know. Right now.
Yeah, you have
But
two
there's
kids.
still, I'm getting a feeling from the other side that by the time you get home with those underpants, boom.
It's on.
Oh my,
It's
oh my.
on like Donkey Kong.
It
Yeah.
could- Howie.
You're going to make another soul have a
Wait,
landing spot.
Who showed up at your door? Is it someone we would know? Is it Andy?
It was not Andy.
Is
It was no.
Alex Baskin.
It was not Alex Baskin. It was because Alex Baskin isn't with MGM anymore. It was with the new, although we know Alex Baskin. It was the new vice president of MGM shows up at the door. Alexa says no. So then next thing you know, they call. They say, oh, we want to the president now of MGM wants to have a conversation with you. Alexa goes, I don't want to do it. Then the president emails Alexa and says, I heard you don't want to have a meeting with me. Can you please get on the phone and talk to me? They talked for an hour straight, and then Alexa's like, I just don't want to do it. I don't want the drama. And I'll tell you the reason why. We know the housewives. We've known many housewives. And, you know, they said to us, listen, they said to Alexa, like, you're a good girl. You're a good wife. They're like, you're not a drama person. You're not gonna, they want you on this show because they know that you're going to clash with these girls. And my wife's not about that. She loves being a mom. My wife is just amazing. She's the sweetest person inside and out. She would not be good on there.
Do you remember the medium that was on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills that said years and years ago that Kyle would be divorced from her husband, and now she's divorced from her husband? And do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Go back
okay,
and
so
watch.
let me tell you something. I don't watch television. I don't watch television.
She's the
at
villain. Hold on.
all.
Do you have Apple products in your house?
I do.
So when you're calling your wife, do you find that lights are turning on and off, or like how do you know the difference between Alexa and Alexa?
Alexa's not Apple.
What is it? Google.
Google.
Yeah.
No, and Amazon. And we're not allowed to have an Alexa in the house. We cannot have an Alexa in the house.
Yeah, all the people that are watching right now, I'm sure, are tuning out because it's like,
Oh.
Alexa,
turn it louder.
That's exactly
Alexa,
it.
subscribe to Howie Mandel Does Stuff.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Alexa, subscribe to Howie Mandel Does Stuff. I just found a way to get it. Alexa, tell everybody to comment and
Allison
like.
Dubois.
Yes,
You
she
know
was
her?
on. Well, I don't know her personally, but I know that she was that TV show Medium was based off of her.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yes.
She's the villain of Real
You're
Housewives.
touring now?
Yes.
How do they find out where you're touring? We'll put a link in, but what is that?
So listen, the dead and the living can find me on my website, meetmattfraser.com. And yes, I'm touring. I have online group readings, which people can, books. We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife, Don't Wait Till You're Dead, When Heaven Calls. There's a bunch of books, courses, anything that you name. Because, you know, I wanted to also be a teacher. I don't just want to go and give readings. I want to teach people to do what I do, just in a different way.
She's a teacher.
What do you teach?
I don't anymore. I was a teacher for a long time. Kindergarten and first and second and third.
And
Oh,
and
you might have to come to my house. We might need you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying with my kids and I'm not doing a good job. It was way easier with a classroom full of kids. With my kids, I'm not doing a great job.
and driver's ed.
Driver's ed? I taught driver's ed?
Oh, my wife needs you. Yes, my wife needs to go back to driver's ed. Please come to the house. Please, just for a week. I will pay
She
you.
a bad
Come
driver?
Oh my God, please.
You should get the automated driving.
Yeah.
We need something.
Yeah, don't you do get a self-driving car?
That's the one thing that we fight about, and that Ricardo will tell you. Ricardo, I'm not allowed to drive. He says to me, I'm the worst driver. I don't know. And my wife says I'm a bad driver. I think she's a bad driver.
Who fights? Ricardo, your wife,
They
you?
will laugh to me. They're saying I'm a bad driver. I don't understand it.
Do you not get a sense from the other side of what they think about your driving?
They don't tell me what they think about my driving. They care about getting their messages across. I don't give a shit how I drive.
This has been fascinating and fun, buddy.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you for being here. You're based in New York?
So I am based in Rhode Island, believe it or not.
Oh, you stayed around your home state.
Absolutely, with all the loud Italians that are there. That's me.
Yeah. How come you don't have an accent?
I don't have an accent. I gotta tell you something. I get made fun of my accent all the time because I lived 7 years in Boston. I was an EMT for the World Trade Center in Boston.
Were you an EMT during that time?
Yes. So I had 7 years in Boston in Boston, and then I had my whole life in Rhode Island for the most part. So I have a little bit of Boston, a little bit of Rhode Island, and Rhode Island's nestled between both. So I could.
What do you mean for the World Trade Center? You're only 33. This is 2000. It doesn't make sense.
No. I started becoming an EMT when I was 18 years old, and then I worked for the World Trade Center in Boston when I was 19 years old.
The World Trade Center
in Boston.
Yeah, for the Security Operations Department at the World Trade Center in Seaport, Boston.
Wow.
I think there's more than.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know. I thought the World Trade Center was the New York thing where the planes flew in.
No, and that's actually how it all started with this mediumship, because I ran away from it for years and years and years. And because I could always feel people on a deeper level, I could feel people's pain. I could feel people's emotions. I just wanted to help people. I always felt that was my calling, was to be in the medical field. So my goal was start off as an EMT, right? I was working for the World Trade Center in Boston for the Security Operations Department. And then from there, I was going to go and become a paramedic and then maybe even a physician's assistant. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I definitely wanted to be a paramedic. And I was on that journey there. And then I went to see a medium myself, and it changed my life, because at that moment I realized, wait, what if I could heal people on the emotional level? What if it didn't have to be on the physical level? So I went and I started, giving readings to close friends and family members. Never, ever did I think that it was going to be a career. Never did I think that I was going to be in front of Howie Mandel right now on this podcast, or have my own reality show, or be a New York Times best-selling author. Those were like dreams that I never thought possible.
This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable for me living this life every day. I just feel, I don't feel worthy of it. I gotta be honest with you. I really, really don't. And I'm just enjoying every day. I'm enjoying every journey. Nobody got me here, but the people that watch me and follow me. And
Well, you're supposed to be here.
I am. I feel that.
I think we all end up where we're supposed to end up. And the fact that you followed a path, and I think everybody should do that, follow their joy or their calling or whatever. I think most people just try to fit into a box of what they think they're supposed to do as opposed to what they want to do. So there's a good message there. We'll have all your links and everything. Do you have a podcast?
So we're having a podcast that's coming out. Yeah, me and my wife, called Undeniable Proof.
But she doesn't have this ability.
No. She does not have this ability.
But you're laughing like she has no ability.
No, because she's always busting my balls about like, oh, can you see this? Can you see that? My wife thinks I'm like a magic 8-ball, right? She's like constantly like she thinks that she can just shake me and an answer comes out.
Would you like to sing a song?
Would I like to sing a song? Oh no, I'm not gifted in that way.
You don't have to be good. This is not America's Got Talent, but we have a
I'm
band
afraid,
here.
I'm afraid though. I'm in front of like,
No, I'm not going to judge. I am not going to judge. I'm going to have Sonny and the Black Pack play a song, and feel free to sing along.
Okay.
Sonny, what's the song that we've chosen for him to sing?
It's Howie Mandel Does Stuff.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He wrote a song specifically for you.
Oh,
He really did. He really did.
God bless.
Okay.
Get your groove on right now. Watching Howie Mandel, yeah. Get your groove on right now. Watching Howie Mandel. America's medium, Matt Fraser, with precision like a laser, bridging to the other side. Magical, spiritual, mystical guide with his beautiful family. Meet the Frasers, watch on E. Live for fully with love to spread. Don't wait until you're dead. Get your groove on right now. Watching Howie Mandel, yeah. Get your groove on right now. Watching Howie Mandel. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. The Jacqueline Schultz. Woo! Don't stop.
That was great. That was amazing.
That was great.
And I got free underwear. We got a lot on this podcast. I got free underwear. I got myself a song. Wow.